Alright, this video is on Wyoming police officers. Sheridan Police Department, 45 West 12th Street, Sheridan, Wyoming, 82801. Police Officer Nick Kaminsky. This guy talked to me like a human being. He didn't treat me like I was an animal. He listened to what it is that I had to say. He seemed genuine. We need more officers like that. More officers who do their job. We also encounter the same thing we encounter in Sydney, Nebraska. No resources. There's 3 different numbers that I had to call today to try to get some help. Hopefully when I get to Cheyenne, I'll be able to see myself a real doctor. Maybe I'll get another therapist. I have people I know in the area, but they're scared. Not of me. They're people I tried to contact when I was trying to get Miss Shelley somewhere safe. So this Officer Kaminsky, I gave him a quick rundown of what was going on in Colorado, and he didn't miss a beat. He said they do things differently here, and he's right. One of these numbers is for Sheridan, Wyoming. The number is specifically for domestic assault and abuse. They gave me the number to the second number, which is for homeless outreach. There's 3 different numbers attached to it. It's Volunteers of America, Rocky Mountain section. And the first one is substance abuse. I don't abuse substances. I guess I smoke cigarettes and I drink coffee. I got kind of an addiction to sugar too, but I'm trying to curb that. This isn't stuff they work with, though. I work with a lot of... I'm more qualified to be a drug counselor than most drug counselors you're going to meet. There's a few of them that were former addicts that can do a lot more good, though. There's a man in Boulder. His name is Victor King. I'll tell you a story about him later. The other number that's attached to that is for the homeless outreach. They have an emergency number that's this third number, and I called them, and they weren't able to help. Well, the first number called the police to see if they had any resources to help. So they sent the police out to talk to me. And I had already been expecting that. I told the woman that I was speaking with that I was pretty sure the cops were going to end up coming and talking to me because they have a real issue in the area with people selling drugs in these parking lots. So most of the parking lots you're not allowed to park in, including the one at McDonald's. This woman said that wasn't going to be a problem, and then she actually sent the police to come talk to me. Well, then the police showed up, and they called numbers. They called 5 different numbers. So they have 2 numbers that I don't. But they tried to get me actual help. One of the officers, he kept on pushing the drugs thing. I don't know what it is with everybody thinking that pills fix every damn thing, but the other 2 officers that I spoke with the other night for being in a parking lot, Corporal Snoozy and Officer Stallions. They, as well, spoke to me like I was a human being. They didn't treat me like I was a monster. Matter of fact, they're the ones that told me that I should come down here to the Walmart and I could sleep here for the night. People in person. See, that's the thing. These officers, they didn't give me the impression that they were trying to do anything wrong or anything harmful. They didn't lie to me. They didn't misrepresent their intentions. They didn't try to pull anything shady. See, I got a built-in lie detector, and every time that my built-in lie detector went off, I ignored it to try to believe people who I shouldn't believe. It's because I needed their help. At first, I needed help to get these people to leave me alone, and then Natalie disappeared, and I needed help finding Natalie, and then Natalie was dead, and I needed help trying to find her killer so that I could get my name freed. And then, after that, I needed help defending myself against the police and the courts in the state of Colorado. After that, I needed help going after the police in the state of Colorado and the police in the state of Nebraska. The officers that I spoke with in Sydney while I was there last year, they were gentlemen. They spoke to me like I was a person. But again, the services issue. Here they used to have a homeless shelter, but it's gone. They don't have it anymore. In Sydney, they used to have a women's shelter, and they didn't have the funding to keep it open. So 7 people donated houses. 7 different houses were donated in Sydney, Nebraska for domestic violence shelters. You know what happens without those shelters? These women are too afraid to come forward. They're too afraid to speak up because they'll lose their kids. They'll end up homeless. If they were donated 7 houses, there's too much red tape, is what the officers there told me. Too much red tape for them to open them up. Well, how about you sell 5 of them? Use that money to open the other 2. Fuck the red tape. See, that's the thing. Too many people are asking the government to do something when the government is out to make a profit, same as everyone else. We got police stations across the nation going bankrupt, telling people they need to get dogs, a big barking dog. And greatest country on earth, right? I spent today treating people like shit because they wouldn't kill me. I want my life to end every single day. I'm just not willing to kill people, myself included. I'd rather kill myself than someone else, and I can't bring myself to kill myself. I explained that to the officers, that I'm not at the risk that they think I am. They didn't go out of their way to lie to me and prevent me from making a report, because the fact is there's nothing they can do. I'm hoping in Cheyenne there's a lawyer that'll take my case pro bono if I can get him taking a look at this stuff. I mean, literally, a fucking moron lawyer could fight everything that I've had to deal with. But also, it's not just my fight. There are thousands of people in America going through this. Sorry, millions. Over 80% of our jail population is homeless people. Over 80% of our jail population is homeless people. And that's the second largest cross section. The largest cross-section is people who grew up in the system, sitting at right around 91% nationwide. People like me who aged out, who have abusive parents who don't care. My dad's got his pride at stake now. It just sucks that I had to tug that cord in order to get anything out of him. He should have cared because I'm his son. He should have cared when I was growing up because I was his son. We need more officers like this. We need officers like this in Colorado. I know a few people who were officers in Colorado. They no longer have jobs in Colorado. Do you know why that is? Because they're not corrupt. They chose to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. They chose to follow the letter of the law. They chose not to break the law, and they chose not to turn a blind eye when other officers broke the law. You're damn right I'm going to speak out about it. Victor King. This is a guy who works with the Department of Social Services in Colorado as a drug counselor. When I knew him, he was a drug dealer. He was a methamphetamine addict. So one day I'm at the Boulder Public Library, and Victor King, he stole somebody's backpack, and he came and sat down next to me. Of course, he didn't come sit down next to me because I wasn't sitting there at the time. But that's not how the police tried to play it off. See, the police saw me walking by, and they asked me to sit down. I asked them what for, and they got snappy, and they got bullshitty with me. They had me sit down. So I did. And they were asking me if I knew whose bag that was sitting next to me. I said, no. They said, well, you should. You're sitting right next to it. Victor King was the one who stole it. Victor King also fessed up to it. Roundabouts. He was dating a girl named Jessica who couldn't stay off the meth. She's got some severe mental problems. Maybe she's got them worked out, maybe she don't. Maybe those mental problems were from all the meth she was using. But they weren't willing to help Victor out the whole time he was homeless. But then he gets busted for stealing a backpack, and they help him out, and they give him a job. I stayed away from the drugs, and I stayed away from the stealing. Meanwhile, I have a paraphernalia on my record for marijuana paraphernalia that was not mine. I also have theft by receiving for something that was not stolen. I bought it. Had I known it was stolen, I would not have bought it. But they don't care about that. I would have had a third stealing on my record if Victor King hadn't come forward and been a man about it. So despite the fact that Victor King was not perfect, I respect him as a man because he stepped forward. He didn't let an innocent man take the fall. The man also does not give his word, ever. Do you know why? Because then he feels bound to keep it. He's given his word to me twice in the 10 plus years that I've known him. He has kept his word twice in the 10 plus years that I've known him. He's not eligible to be a police officer because of his drug history and because of his theft. But if he ran for sheriff, I'd vote for him. Even when he was strung out on meth, he was honest with me. So, when it comes to good officers, Officer Nick Kaminsky, he did his job. Corporal Snoozy did his job. Officer Stallions did his job. There's a difference between being suicidal and attempting suicide. I want my life to end every day over the torture that I've had to endure, the separation from my loved ones, but at the same time, I'm also real pissed off at many of my loved ones because they could have come forward. They didn't bother. A lot of them sat on the line. There are some of them, though, like Miss Peaches. She's got a conscience. She can't just ride the line like that because she knows I'm telling the truth. She can't just sit on the fence until she can make believe like I said something insulting or wrong. She's not a coward like the Clang family. I had a lot of respect for that family. They lost all of that respect. Every bit of it. By being bullshitters. I know how to bullshit, I just can't remember a damn lie. There's no visual memory to a lie. We need to clean up Colorado. That starts with the police force. The police in Boulder in specific who have turned a blind eye to the methamphetamine problems and arrested people like Janine Barrett who never sold meth, never sold them major drugs that they tried to pin on her. They accused her of being a drug kingpin. I know that ain't the truth. Her son, Derek Parrish, went down with that shit too. You know how I met them? I gave him a goddamn blanket because your Jesus would have watched him freeze to death. Your Jesus, not mine. My Jesus died 2,000 years ago, so he's not alive to help people. But he set a good example. I try to follow that example, but I'm also dealing with a lot of mental anguish and turmoil that I can't believe this is what the world's come to. Dog bless America, huh?